dock labourer work at full pressure. There is only one difference. Beside the dock gates, sentries are on duty, and the measures that have been taken for the defence of the Port of London are everywhere in evidence. Off Galleon's Reach, miles below Tower Bridge, there run the Royal Docks, King George V, the most up-to-date in the world, the Royal Albert and the Royal Victoria. Into these docks, equipped with every modern facility for handling and dispatch, come perishable goods and fruit, frozen meat, butter and cheese, the produce of South and North America, Australia and New Zealand. The art of unloading fragile goods, such as these bananas from the West Indies, is as specialized as their cultivation. Outward bound go engines, machinery, cars, lorries and fabrics. While inward too comes tobacco, which is left here to mature in bond. Upstream along the north bank lie the historic East and West Indian docks, linked with the days of Nelson in Trafalgar. Sugar from the West Indies is discharged and stored here in warehouses. And rum from Jamaica on Rum Key. Southward over the river are the Surrey commercial docks, grown from the first of all the Thameside docks and now the timber centre. Across on the north bank again are the London docks, storehouses for all the most valuable imports of London. Let us return to the river now. Beyond Blackwell, home of the immortal clipper ships, lies Greenwich. Here up to 200 years ago, the kings of England came to escape from the fatigues of London. Then the Royal Palace was turned into a hospital for old sailors. Now it is partly a naval museum and partly a college for naval officers. Round the bend from Greenwich lies Limehouse Reach. The name recalls strange tales of London's Chinatown. Less fanciful and more important is the fact that the Millwall dock off Limehouse Reach is the principal grain dock, with a granary that can hold 24,000 tons and a mechanical appliance capable of unloading ships at the remarkable rate of 500 tons per hour. Along the river too, there are dry docks where ships can be overhauled. Here is the London Graving Dock, one of many where repairs and painting are carried out below the waterline. The Londoner's first sight of these ocean-going steamers is in the Pool of London, that section of the Thames which stretches from immediately below London Bridge and is spanned by the Tower Bridge that opens to let tall ships pass into the city. Here under its shadow is the last dock, St. Catherine's. And here William the Conqueror, seeing the strategic importance of the place, began the building of the Tower of London, the home and prison of kings. But docks and ships do not make trade, they minister to it. Trade is set in motion in the markets and the business houses of cities. On the banks of this historic Thames is the greatest market in the world, where merchants from every country have gathered for centuries to share in the prosperity of London. England's central fish market, Billingsgate, lies in the city and is served by the Thames. During the hundreds of years of its existence, this historic market has often known the vicissitudes of war, but today as before, it continues its trade uninterrupted. From the wharves and docks of the river come fruit, flowers and vegetables for Covent Garden, as famous if not as old a market as Billingsgate. Against a background that is still retains something of the 18th century flavour of a local market, produce from all over the world, made available by quick transport and refrigeration, is handled in vast quantities every day. From each and every one of Britain's dominions and colonies and many foreign countries comes a steady flow of produce. Oranges from South Africa, Spain and Brazil. Also pears and plums from South Africa. Apples from New Zealand, Australia and Canada. Bananas from the West Indies and the Canaries. Grapefruit from Palestine and the United States. Flowers from the Scilly Isles. Lemons from Italy. And 1,001 other fruits and vegetables to fill the marketing baskets of millions of homes. In 200 years, the trade of the City of London has increased from £600,000 to 600 million. A volume of trade such as this has meant that London is not only the greatest market in the world, but is also the world's financial centre. And so inevitably, we find in London the representatives of the banks and the financial houses of different countries. The signs of many of London's ancient guilds may still be seen, and although the medieval city companies no longer fulfill all their original functions, they still observe many of their old customs. But above London Bridge, the Thames becomes a different river. A river of wide embankments and trees and modern buildings, near skyscrapers of concrete that have nothing in common with the Georgian warehouses of the docks. But the new styles vary among themselves. Concrete shell makes houses in striking contrast to the English Renaissance style of County Hall, the headquarters of the London County Council, by which London is governed. Beyond Westminster Bridge, and in that second city of London, Westminster, stands the Houses of Parliament, venerable with the traditions and history of the people of these islands. The present buildings of the Houses of Parliament were put up after the old building had been destroyed by fire in 1834. In Westminster Abbey, English kings have been crowned and are buried, and the bodies of many famous men lie here too. Between Parliament and the Abbey stands Westminster Hall, the scene of many historic state trials. Unique among the legislative bodies of the world, the British Parliament has served as a model of government to countries both inside and outside the Empire. The heritage of English freedom has been fought for and won within the walls of these buildings beside the Thames, on whose waters, too, so much of England's riches have been carried to London.